All women want to gather pregnant with this man. In a quiet coastal town, where the sky met the sea with a perfect sigh, lived a man named Cale Rowan. He was not a celebrity. He was not a king. He didn't wear suits or drive luxury cars. But every woman who saw him felt something stir deep inside her. It was more than attraction. It was more than curiosity. It was a calling. They didn't want to just be with him. They wanted to carry a part of him. They wanted his child. And soon they began to gather the man they all wanted. Cale lived simply. He owned a small bookstore that smelled of cedar and sea salt. He read poetry at sunrise and grew herbs behind his shop. He remembered names, looked people in the eyes when he spoke, and listened like the world stopped spinning just for your words. No woman could explain why she was drawn to him. They'd meet him once and find themselves dreaming of him. Not sexually, spiritually. They said. And they weren't alone. The first gathering, it began with a letter a woman named Ilora posted online. At first, people laughed, then others replied. Within weeks, hundreds of women gathered near his town. Then thousands. They called themselves the Light Bearers, not because they were obsessed, but because they believed Cale's child would bring light into the world. What was so special about him? Cale never claimed to be special. When asked why so many women were drawn to him, he smiled softly and said, "But his presence changed people." Women who had never been able to conceive suddenly did. Women who had given up on love found peace. And the children born from him, they were unlike any generation before. The children of Cale Rowan. The first child, born to a woman named Myra, could understand languages at 8 months. The second child, born to a once barren woman, stopped crying the moment he touched her womb. Another child would grow to lead a global peace movement by age 12. These children weren't strange. They were clear. They were calm. They carried a piece of something pure. And more women gathered the rules of Cale. But Cale had rules. He did not give himself freely. He would meet a woman, look into her eyes, and ask one question. Those who were sincere he embraced. Those who came for fame, power, or pride he turned away gently. He never charged money. He never claimed ownership. The village of life. As years passed, a small village formed around Cale's home. Mothers lived together. Raised their children together. Taught them kindness, wisdom, stillness. They didn't worship Cale. They honored the part of themselves he helped awaken. They called it the village of life. It became a sanctuary for women who believed that the future didn't lie in politics or technology, but in pure-hearted children born from pure-hearted choices. The day Cale left. On his 60th birthday, Cale stood in front of the gathered women, thousands of them. Then he walked into the ocean, his steps never breaking the waves, and disappeared into the horizon. But the legend never died. To this day, women still travel to that village. They still believe Cale will return. And some say he already has, not as a man, but as the soul inside the children he left behind. They call them the carriers of tomorrow. And they believe Cale's story wasn't about creating children. It was about awakening purpose.